So, Liquid have made roster moves with MIBR, and it was a bit of a shuffle. And will this move mean they evaporate? Will they improve? So let's just have a talk about it. So, Taco and Zeus have left the team for MIBR, their former team, and Stewie 2K will be coming the other way, and then former Liquid IGL Adren is going to be coming in as their coach replacement. So, which we'll talk more about Adren later in the video, but this change was not a move by Liquid. It's been made public before the EPL season 8 finals when Liquid had a really good run, beating Mibba and Navi in the playoffs and looking the best they'd ever done, to be honest. You know, taking a map off Astralis, looking stronger, looking a bit better. Zeus and Taco had already asked to leave for Mibba. Liquid being the good organisation and reputable one that they are, they said, yeah, of course, we'll grant your request. So off they've gone, and I think this move is just more about this is the Brazilian scene and how it's declining and how the scene is waning. Mibba didn't look very good. They've resorted to international options. A couple of other teams are on the rise, but nothing's really no real top tier contenders. So I think this is just the Brazilian scene saying, right, we need to reunite now. We need to have our old champions in Taco and Zeus back, and we're gonna make a challenge to beat Astralis. This is their power play. This is Mibba's power play. So I think it'll be a very good move for Mibba, don't get me wrong. Going back to a full Brazilian roster as well if Tariq is removed for Phelps. But then going back to Liquid, which is obviously the main talking point of the video, is about how Stewie 2K is going to come in. Ex-Cloud9 player, won a major with them, fan favourite. And they mentioned the roster update video that he's very good in high pressure situations, which is very true. Right? So that's why they seem to have picked him up, fair enough, over Tariq, because obviously they were rumoured to be looking into Tariq, but they went for Stewie, high pressure situation performer, a bit more aggressive, fair enough. So looking at Liquid's situation, they've lost Taco and Zeus, a support player and their coach, for Adren and Stewie. Adren obviously coming in from free agency and Stewie coming in from MLBR as before mentioned. So earlier this year actually, SK made the switch for Taco and Stewie and tried to facilitate Stewie into some of Taco's roles. That did not work at all. Stewie has underperformed for MIBR massively. He's looked less confident. He looked like a shadow of his former self. And Mibba haven't looked anywhere near as good as they did with Taco. So I just don't see if they're going to do a straight roll swap. That's surely not going to work. Taco was in fact very important on Liquid as well. So he had a huge impact on his team as he did in SK. It's frankly they won 2 majors together. They were the best team in the world for a time. Everyone loved them, and that was largely a result because of Taco's work. And now in Liquid this year, he's done the same. He's had a huge impact. He's done exactly what he's required to. He's given platforms. He's built the foundations for players like Twists, players like Naf, to carry the team and step up in the big games when they're needed, which hasn't happened enough, to be honest. But Taco has been saying look, I'm doing everything that I can. Where are you guys? So looking at actually removing Taco, I think it's going to be a massive loss for Liquid. I think he's a very important player. I think he's a very mentally strong player. He's a very positive spirit, and I think they're going to suffer without Taco. There's not one team in history has improved by losing Taco. I'm just saying that now. That being said, Stewie's mentality and personality will help Liquid, right? Because Liquid have always been a very mellow team, a very quiet team, and having a more aggressive, loud, more confident, instead of being, we'll play our game, we'll try our best, players like Elysian, Nitro said in interviews, you got Stewie's like, right, we're going to beat these guys, we're better than these, they're crap. And that's the kind of player that Liquid do need. And a bit of aggressiveness in game will really suit them as well, but it depends about the role. If they put Stewie into Taco's roles like SK did, that won't work. So will you play more aggressive entry? Okay, but then who's going to take Taco's roles? Leech. That's not going to do good. That's not going to go well. There's no one in that team that you can think, oh yeah, he can take Taco's roles. Those roles are still there. They're not going anywhere. So I feel like since Liquid have lost them with Taco, there is not one person in NA who can fill his shoes. But then you've got to look also at the culture that Stewie brings to the team. like his culture and the way he can fit into his role and everything, the way he can galvanise the team is very important because they'll have a lot more common interests. They'll be a lot better in the communication aspect. So I think bringing someone with a bit of a fellow North American culture, a bit of a North American style of CS will work well. And something I haven't really think a lot of people have discussed is the possibility of Stewie 2K actually picking up the AWP for Liquid. Like, Nitro's looked alright with it, but nothing better. He has not been shown he can challenge device. Stewie's always been a comfortable AWPer. He can play aggressive, he can play flashy, and that's something that Liquid had never really had, because JDM was not that kind of AWPer really. He was more of a passive kind of AWPer. So an aggressive AWPer would probably hurt them. An aggressive AWPer wouldn't hurt them at all. Especially if the AWP was better than Nitro, and Stewie is probably a better, more skillful player than Nitro with the AWP. Plus it takes like stuff off Nitro's shoulders, so him and Elise can do their old 2015 entries and all that stuff. But then if you move to the coaching role, right, into the coaching change, you've got Zeus for Adren. Zeus was very important for Liquid, and he has been since he came in. He's made them more confident, he's made them have a better mentality, and their in-game has been so much better, so much more structured, so much more organised, and so much more consistent. Nitro will probably suffer without him, I think, because he's always had Zeus guiding him. Always had Zeus saying, right, don't do this. Zeus often overcalls in game, which is something that Stanislaw complained about, but what if they win those rounds? These are rounds that they could be losing in game now, so this is going to be a very important loss. Zeus is obviously a close friend of everyone in the team, and I think he's sort of like the glue that holds everyone together, right? Zeus is the peacemaker, the one that's not on Tinder, and he's the one that holds people together. And will those relationships be compromised between players now that Zeus is gone? Possibly. Zeus knows what every player's like very well. Adren doesn't know what Twist and Naff are like. He doesn't know what Stewie's like as much. He's never really played with them. He's played with the Legion Nitro, but can he control their relationships as well? I don't think so. So I think Zeus is going to be a massive loss for Team Liquid. He's probably the second best coach in the world, and losing him is going to be catastrophic. And then picking up Adren in, so looking at him, he's a friend of Elysian Nitro, played them before, so builds a bit of comfortableness in the team. He's always been a decent NA in-game leader, like, not individually skilled well, but he understands the game, he can break down teams, he can break down demos. He brings a brand as well, with like Mythic and everything. He's a popular streamer, you know, you're bringing an audience to Liquid, you know, that's always a good thing. And his culture as well, like with Stewie, the North American culture, that's a good thing. But Zeus is a proven coach, second best coach in the world. Success follows him around. That's how you know he's a good coach. Everywhere he goes, he's successful. So, you know, Adren is so unknown. How can that instantly be a good swap? But something that is an interesting point is, Adren has been rumoured to be wanting to be a coach for a while, right? He's never done it before, so that's going to bring him a lot of desire. Now, Zeus has already won 2 majors as a coach. He's been the best team in the world as a coach. He's been through the highs, been through the lows. He knows everything. So that's going to obviously knock at his motivation a bit. Like, he's already done everything he wants with this country. Why would he go to another team and just do the same thing with them? He's already done it. Dren was experiencing everything for the first time, like these Liquid guys are. Like, this is going to be a very big thing for him. It's going to be his opportunity. He's going to work hard. So, overall, I think this is probably a downgrade for Liquid. I don't think that Stewie's going to fit well into Taco's roles. And while there is a culture change, I just don't think that losing Zeus and Taco is basically just too much of a loss. In game, out of game. I think this could make or break Liquid though, because, you know, it could break up the relationships, but at the same time it could bring a lot more desire and a lot more like North American culture into the team, a little more North American style. But yeah, if they spin it correctly with the roles, making sure that how are they going to spin it correctly with the roles? That's pretty much impossible. But if they don't make Stewie do Taco's roles and maybe take him on the AWP, maybe get him to play a bit more aggressively and a bit more confidently, then they hold the team together, they work hard, like they play with a bit more confidence, then they could easily surpass the former roster. But I just don't see that that's going to happen because the criteria, they don't meet it. The roles won't work. There's not a support player in that roster anymore. Look at Mousesports when they got Snacks. Support players are so important. So I just can't see them being bad. I think this is a downgrade in the short term and in the long term. They can have one-off performances where they beat Astralis and everyone's going, oh, this is the team. But they're not going to be consistent like Liquid have been the whole of 2018. 6 grand finals they've made this year in big events. They've won 2 smaller tier tournaments as well. And they've looked so good this year. A very, very capable team. Losing 2 key components of that could be too much for them, I think. So I do think that Liquid are going to evaporate. I'd say they'll probably stay within the top 7, top 8, but maybe win a championship or so just off the fluke. But I think there's going to be another roster move in the next 6 months because I just don't think this roster's sustainable. I don't think there's any support in there. The only North American options you got are like Fugly, but that's not going to happen. Like NRG doing well, no one wants to compromise that, and support players in NA there's not too many anyway. So I just don't think Liquid are in a good situation going into 2019, but prove me wrong anyway. So thank you very much for watching the video anyway for ESN Esports. You can check out my Twitter at DonPhillipsCSGO. ESN Esports is on esnesports.com, the premium esports content providers in CSGO and LOL. So thank you very much for watching the video, and see you later.